My name is Lindsay DuPre. My spirit name is the one who listens of the praying clan. On my father's side, we are Métis, originally Muskegon Swampy Cree from Manitoba, and on my mother's side, we are Irish. I'm also a proud daughter, sister, friend, and Master's of Social Work student at the University of Toronto. Growing up, I didn't know anything about my Métis heritage. It wasn't until a few years ago now that my father's uncle tracked our family history back and we received Métis citizenship through the Métis Nation of Ontario. And since then, while I have found this to be very important and embracing our culture and reconnecting, most of my family members have not. And that disconnect within your own family can be very difficult because identity and culture, to me, go hand in hand with family. And so not having that has been hard. As much as my spiritual journey so far has been filled with positive experiences, it has also been very difficult and overwhelming, not quite feeling like I fit in, feeling like I'm stuck between two cultures. And I mean, logically, I can tell myself that it doesn't need to be one or the other, and there's no set checklist to define where I fit in. It's still very overwhelming, feeling that loneliness and not feeling like I quite belong. Giving up a colonized way of thinking about my Aboriginal identity has been a big struggle for me. I've had all these stereotypes in my mind of what it means to be Aboriginal, and trying to let go of that and getting rid of this idea of a checklist of things that I need to know or activities that I need to be a part of to be considered Aboriginal enough. So I've really had to shift this colonized way of thinking and try to shape my own idea of what that means and what it means for me. Since my family hasn't been able to give me the support that I've needed throughout this journey and in seeking out my Aboriginal identity, I've had to find other avenues of getting that support and that sense of community. And so for me, that's meant going to different events, such as powwows, and connecting with different Indigenous youth in the university. And most importantly, this year has been going on the Canadian Roots Exchange to Six Nations. I think one of the most impactful aspects of the Canadian Roots Exchange for me, and in terms of supporting my identity development right now, was just having the space to be open about how I'm feeling. Once I complete my Master's of Social Work degree next year, my plan is to continue my involvement in the community. I'd really love to turn the negative experiences I've had and the struggles I've had with my own identity into something positive, working with youth to help them on their spiritual journey. I think very often we get so caught up in our own struggles and our own lives that we forget to see that other people are going through really similar things. I mean, I think I'm starting to learn that it's not about what your background is or what country you come from, what language you speak, your sexuality. Everyone's just trying to belong. We're trying to figure out who we are. And there's something oddly comforting in that. Growing up, I didn't know anything about my Métis heritage. It wasn't until a few years ago now that my father's uncle tracked our family history back and we received Métis citizenship through the Métis Nation of Ontario. And since then, while I have found this to be very important and embracing our culture and reconnecting, most of my family members have not. And that disconnect within your own family And I mean, logically, I can tell myself that it doesn't need to be one or the other, and there's no set checklist to define where I fit in. It's still very overwhelming, feeling that loneliness and not feeling like I quite belong.